What y'all doing here? Mighty fine
Uh,
cave.
the goblin perks up and you hear him snarling. "Ah," in his head. Oh god, no, the voices are back.
Oh, don't
Oh,
worry, these are
no.
good voices.
That's what the last voice said.
But these voices are looking out for you. What if you're in danger and you want to know what's going on?
We are in danger.
What you in danger from?
It.
It. What's it?
It.
Is it deeper in the cave?
Ah,
Is it dangerous?
always.
What if I told you that I was gonna send someone to take care of it?
How would a voice take care of something?
No, I'm just a high power. I'll send some hardy, dangerous individuals to go in there and just, extract it or take it out. Make sure that none of you and your kin get harmed.
You see him looking around. God?
Sure.
Ah,
Are you a god?
You always say yes.
God?
When he asks you
It's me,
if you
Margaret.
are God, you say yes.
I love. I don't know if any of you guys saw Afterlife, but
Not yet.
it was pretty fun.
Ah. Are you sure you're not one of the other voices?
Positive. I wouldn't lie to you. I mean, in
Uh,
fact, I can guarantee it'll happen in a timely manner.
You see the other goblins sort of looking at the goblin you're speaking to, and they're like, "Ah," saying something in goblin. He's like, all right, prove it. Make somebody appear within the next 6 seconds.
I gesture back to
Elgavar?
Elgavar, like bring on the group, and I step forward. I tip my hat and I give a little bit of a bow.
You see the other goblins like raise their weapons, and the goblin you were talking to starts shouting, "Don't do it! It's God!"
And
Oh no.
without my lips aren't moving at all. This guy here is again. See what I tell you.
Yes! Yes! I shall prepare an offering!
Jesus.
Works
Welcome to the
perfect.
road to El Dorado, everybody.
Now you just gotta let these fine folk through, and they'll take care of your problem for you.
Yes! Yes! I'll lead you to the boss!
Perfect. And I just kind of gesture with my my hand, like let's just keep walking, people.
I am gonna light up a torch just because I can't see shit.
Well, that was fun. Weren't expecting that,
nicely
were you,
done.
Moose?
Trick
Yep.
the goblins into thinking you're God is a really good play. I'm a
Yeah,
fan.
Oh, man.
Just spectacular.
That was something.
That, wow. Man. Man, is this what you have
Level
to do
3.
with Skarnir and his diplomacy?
Level 3,
Yes.
baby.
And that's what it's like all the fucking time.
Oh,
It's
there's
called
some.
lateral thinking,
there's-
and it's an important component of the game.
I mean, yeah, like, oh man, there's a bunch of ogres. Ogres like thumping stuff, and we have learned that is in fact true. But they also like talking to strong guys.
There are some that you can talk to, and there are some that you can't. Okay,
It's just fun. Like
it's not.
it's
Oh, yeah,
always
and the goblins. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, I was just gonna say it's always the most amusing, like diplomatizing your way through like the weirder situations that aren't like the expected diplomacy ones.
Yeah.
Like talk
it's
to
fun.
a mayor? Hell no. Talk to a cave full of goblins.
Like, I would be
Also-
remiss if I didn't allow you to do this with all the bullshit I pull off with Skarnir.
I also just realized with like the torchlight and us being like very visible now, the rippling of shadows and light over our skin must look fuckety. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
these
It's
Like,
probably
the
playing
goblin that
into the
you were
narrative.
talking to is absolutely awestruck, and the other ones are like, were the voices back?
I don't like this reference to voices coming back. Not a fan. Troubling.
The crossbow goblin is like hurriedly like scampering down the cave system. He's like, come, boss will want to meet you.
How convenient you started talking to the schizophrenic goblin.
Yeah, it worked out real good.
He rounds the corner. Boss!
Or terribly. We don't really know where it's going yet.
Yeah, maybe he has a reputation for being schizophrenic, so this is all gonna go to shit real quick.
You round the bend and you see a bigger room in the cave. It's got some animal skins laid out, some barrels of supplies. Off in a far corner, there's some torn up pillows that are likely acting as the sleeping area. Boss, I brought somebody that can help. In the middle of a room, you see a goblin wearing very piecemeal armor. Like, you're pretty sure his helmet is made of a cast iron pot.
As one does.
He turns, he's like, what do you mean you brought somebody to help? Were the voices back?
Oh my god.
Yes, but these were good voices. It was God, I swear.
My favorite
He
thing
made
is most
people
of us don't understand
appear.
shit.
A god that can make people appear. Okay. The boss goblin walks up to you. If you're sent by God, then what are we doing here?
That in Goblin?
We can't understand
No.
any of this.
This one, he switches over to common.
Oh.
He assumes you all non-gobs can't speak gob.
I lock eyes with him, and without moving my lips again, just speaking into his head.
Good God.
Just staring intensely. These are my these are my emissaries. They don't need to know why you're here. They're just here to help.
You see the goblin boss take his helmet off and like look inside of it. Then back at the
You will not
the
find
party.
me in your helmet, for I'm everywhere.
Being not privy to what is happening in this goblin's head, Passenger will pipe up, "It is not ours to understand the will of the divine being which has sent us."
See, she knows what she's talking about.
The goblin boss's mouth is just hanging open, and the goblin that led you there just has a "see, I told you so" look on his face.
To that one, I say, good job. You're doing great.
You notice a bit more details about the cave. You see two goblins standing over by sort of a half-crumbled stone wall that from where you are you can only just barely see. They looked armed. They're armed and more paying attention to the wall than they are to you. And the goblin boss finally pipes up again. Does this make us clerics if we've been doing the god's will?
It depends on how this all plays out.
I
It means
always
you are the
fancied
faithful.
myself a paladin. He
Truly.
stands and postures.
You look mighty attired for it. Very nice helm, by the way.
Thank you. Come on in. Make yourselves at home. Can I offer you tomatoes?
Absolutely.
Gob! Get them tomatoes. The blue goblin walks over to a barrel, picks up an armful of tomatoes, and steps over. The blue goblin, in very broken English common, says, "Tomatoes are like healthy flesh. They bleed when you bite them."
This is so true. I'm glad somebody else understands.
Your wisdom is beyond compare.
Yes.
Take a tomato and make a showy bite of just like.
That said, don't eat too much. It's our main ammunition.
Tell us,
I'm making
for
a
what
big
divine mission have we been sent? We are brought here in aid, but we know not what we face.
The goblin boss, looks back towards the broken stone wall. Well, we set up here, and this stone wall here started to crumble a bit, and the lads, ever the, curious types. You can see him, like, puffing his chest up and sort of talking, the group of goblins up, making themselves seem important.
They are.
And
Those.
we noticed every once in a while when we're trying to sleep, something looking at us through the opening. It gave us the real case of heebie-jeebies. But we found out its secret weakness. We found if you throw a tomato at the big glowing green spot, it gets unhappy and leaves.
See,
Marston just pockets the tomato he was given.
Smart.
Mm-hmm.
you have done quite well in facing off this monster. We are here now.
He slams a fist against his chest plate that you can see is a pounded out washboard.
Steven, thank you so much for these NPCs. I love them.
I'm glad you enjoyed.
It is quite delightful.
So,
Coming from another DM.
thank you. So, we have taken it upon our holy duty to keep the thing at bay.
And now it is our charge to take care of it. But I should say, there is one thing that we have been ordered to do in addition to protecting you and yours.
Oh, and what's that?
I'm gonna look around and kind of make eye contact with the group. We are charged with not just protecting you, but all the peoples of this land. Should we defeat this monster for you, we would ask that you follow the divine will and work in cooperation with your fellow creature.
That mean we have to stop taking stuff?
You would have to work in cooperation rather than theft, perhaps honest labor, cooperation.
The blue goblin pipes up.
Boss, it's okay. If they help, we don't need to keep stealing tomatoes.
This is true.
You've got a point. We would no
The divine
longer be in
wishes
need.
for your safety. The local community is quite dangerous for their enemy. If you make yourselves friends, you will fear no danger. This is the wisdom of the divine.
But then how would we get more tomatoes?
Boss, I just said we didn't need more tomatoes.
Yes, but they taste good.
You could start a garden.
A
Yes.
what?
A garden. You could grow them yourselves.
If you plant the tomatoes in fertile soil, more will grow.
You see the blue goblin pick up a tomato and sort of throw it against the stone floor.
Not like that. I'll show you later.
Ah,
The local communities, if you do not fight with them, may instruct you in these ancient wisdom. This is the cooperation we speak of. No more need to fight, and tomatoes in abundance for all.
tomatoes for all. I like that.
But first, we must take care of this creature, yes?
That makes sense.
Safety for you and yours before your great future can begin.
Great future.
In his head, I'm just like, you're doing great.
Yeah, I hope you guys are all chill with this, because I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants here.
Yeah.
I would say something if I had an objection.
I love the idea of teaching them how to plant tomatoes so they can just have them.
Yes, I like to think we're, two birds, one stone here.
Speaking of stones,
Yeah.
use stones as ammo instead of tomatoes.
Yeah, because honestly, the goblins seem rather, nice and civilized. No need to just, go wantonly murdering if we could teach them how to farm tomatoes.
Straight up said that they didn't take, like, they were only taking these tomatoes because of
defending
something
their
has
home.
happened that they don't have an option for something else.
It's the
Yeah.
only weakness.
That's so much.
All right.
All right.
Those with edged weapons, drench them in tomato juice.
I'm picturing a very
I think
different.
that's a good idea.
Hmm.
I will take the tomato that I was given and stick it on the end of my spear.
Nice. The boss will go up towards the two goblins watching the door. Say, this over here. This is Smells. He's the one that found out the tomato trick. Isn't that right, Smells? Goblin looks over. Ah! God, you label that fast.
Sorry.
Damn. Just immediate.
Say, a wise goblin indeed. The god thing is pleased.
Ah! The boss goblin chimes up. So what god do you serve? It sort of just said God, but I don't remember hearing that name.
It is not ours to know which god we serve. We only do the divine will of that which speaks to us.
We simply call it God because to know its true name would invite madness upon the mind.
Huh. Okay.
Powerful entities are like that.
He goes over. Now, you sure you want to go in there?
I'm actually going to. I am going to stand up before the goblin boss, and I'm going to give just a slight wink to Passenger and go, "God will protect me!" and summon my armor.
One moment. Okay, that was a very, very floor dice.
And I'm covered head to feet in scale mail.
And misreading the cue, Passenger will immediately cast protection from evil and good on them using subtle spell, which is the I'll burn a sorcery point for that, so that I don't have any visual tells that I've done anything, and they will glow with a soft white light.
The scene from Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, where Gandalf comes over the hill with the light of dawn and, like, all the orcs are blinded, and, it's like that, like, their eyes go wide as, the light inside the dark cave, begins to well. This one like runs off into a side cave. The goblin boss like staggers back with like a "Oh!" look on his face. And these goblins are awestruck.
Yeah.
Except
just
for
out,
the
"You've
orange
been
one, who's
chosen."
like, I've seen it better.
Boy howdy. If we're making ourselves look cool, Obsidian will snap his fingers and then all of a sudden sparks will just start coming out of his ears. With prestidigitation.
Oh man. You guys never cease
can be
to
convinced of.
supplant my expectations.
I had to get in on the fun a little bit. Plus,
Yeah.
My favorite part of this is how like just ready to improv the group is, considering they don't have any idea what Marston's been doing. They're just getting like the goblin reaction side of
Yes.
person
just
speaking in
seeing-
their heads. It's
I'm
amazing.
trying to go just off of the goblin reaction side.
I know, that's what's so
Yeah.
great about that.
All
the
I know
goblin.
is
Alright.
Marston said something about God at like a god at some point, and I just rolled with it.
Who named the goblin boss Paul?
We don't need to talk about that.
Who named the goblin boss Paul?
We don't need to talk about who named who what.
Oh god. Okay, there's 9 of these guys. He's the Apostle Paul.
God, amazing.
Look, I have breadcrumbs and Paul, alright?
Which one is
Before
breadcrumbs?
we leave this cave, I'm gonna instruct breadcrumbs to pick up that tomato that someone threw on the ground and get the seeds out of the tomato, and I'm gonna teach them how to plant tomatoes when we get back.
All right. The goblin boss says to Smells and Pumpkin to step aside.
And pumpkin. Oh my god.
Paul hefts his mace, walks over to the stone wall. Everybody at this point, if you're walking forward and looking at the wall, roll nature.
Natural.
21.
17.
16.
1 second. Yeah, 17.
14.
14. You all are able to clearly discern the distinct differences between the cave's walls and this stone wall. The stone wall is completely flat except for some cracks and some holes that have been sort of
God, there's
broken into
actual
it.
Tomatoes on the friggin' map.
Do you like that little detail?
I do.
Very good.
I'm glad you noticed. I was like, nobody's gonna pay attention to that. It's just spots on the ground.
No, those are tomatoes. I fucking know it.
Consider how far they had to throw it for this farthest one, right? The arm on this tomato throwing goblin has got to be just barrel sized.
Just a fucking cannon.
The goblin
Well, that's a good
boss walks up to the stone wall. He's like,
85 feet? Yeah. Yeah,
we're doing our best to keep this up. But if you all are gonna go in, we'll help out. He hefts his mace and smashes the wall a couple times, and it makes an opening big enough for you guys to go through. I hope you guys know what you're doing, because otherwise, it's going to be able to get out, and I don't really want to deal with that.
I just look at my gauntlets that begin glowing and I just go, I have no idea.
Don't worry.
Have no
they're
fear.
experts.
God will protect us.
Heel tag.
Anime will protect me.
I have the power of God and anime on my side.
God. Ah, yes, the two most powerful forces in the known universe.
What the fuck is this session devolved into?
You know,
Amazingness.
Every game turns into Monty Python and the Holy Grail eventually.
Oh,
We did it by session 4. This is great.
Yeah, well
Dude,
done,
we're
everybody.
really-
We made it 4 sessions of sort of seriousness until we got to the ridiculous bullshitting around.
You say we, but
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember my fake name.
I
I went half a session.
you didn't even go half a session. You